Morning watchers, Scott at SE Landscaping, and I've just arrived at a job I think I did on a previous video. I went to look at a fence in a cemetery that needed to hide a hedge for one of our existing clients, and I think I explained previous it was a small job, a couple hours work, and it was a job that we just go ahead and do. So I usually like to tell the client how much it is, but small jobs like this, they pretty much have an idea, but I do like to tell them just in case. So we've just got it, well, I've just got here, van loaded up with timber, so I'm going to get everything into place. It's 7:30 now. If I spin you around, this is the cemetery. We look after all this grass inside and out. That over there is the old caretaker's house. So it's obviously in use. So what I want to do is I want to pull the van over now. I want to get the timber out and stuff sort of quietly because it's right behind the house, and then by 8 o'clock we can get at digging holes. But it's just a matter of trying to reduce the noise and keep everyone happy prior to doing any work. So we'll get the van unloaded, well, after we have a cup of tea to start the day. Then we'll get the van unloaded, and then we'll get cracking. Already been out this morning, put some lines on some football pitches. It's good to have 7am back, the dreary months of December and January when I'm twiddling my thumbs waiting for the sun to come up and for it to be light, because as everybody knows I'm an early starter. So by the time you get the van's loaded up and everything, I'm on site. So it means now that I'm actually fitting an extra sort of hour and a half into every day, which is good because it's 7.5 hours a week of extra production, and especially at the moment we're being busy, so it provides extra income as well. So let's get cracking. So 2 foot deep hole. The tighter you keep your hole, the better. 1, you use less concrete. 2, because the sides are so compacted already, if you dig a bigger hole, you're going to use more concrete. There's more chance it's going to move about because it's got more play on it. So here we've got about 40 mil either side of the post. We've used just short of a bag, which is good enough on this, and this will not go anywhere. So like I say, tighter hole, and best tools to get a tight hole, because if you go to it with a spade and things, you're going to end up with a huge hole. Is these shove haulers. Keep nice and tight, loosen it up with a spit, go at it with a shove hauler and a wrecking bar if you need it. If it's rough digging, but tighter the hole the better. If you're taking out new posts and putting it back where you're putting an existing post, if it has to go there, sometimes you can't help but because you take the old concrete out, sometimes you can't help but use 4 or 5 bags of postcrete, and by the time you buy a post at £13 and £5 a bag, that post could cost you sort of £25–30 just to put back in. So that's the downside of when you're taking out old posts. Always try and find somewhere else if you can to put a new post, if you're taking down old wind-blown fences or something. But if it has to go back there, unfortunately you just have to ramp your price up to pay for the materials. So I don't know if you can make out at 21 inches there, we've got an old clay field drain. It could be a field drain, or it could be actually the drain from this caretaker's bungalow running into the fields behind. So not good practice to put a post and concrete on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move it along a foot, not right next to it because it'll just make a bigger hole and it'll need more concrete. So we'll move it along, it'll knock the centres out, but this is a hazard of the job, unfortunately. So it's a hard work done, posts in, all nice and straight, string line, and like I said, distances, we've just had to move that one, so but on a short distance like this you can't really notice, and that's just because of the drain. So another hazard of doing jobs on your own is the pain in the ass to put 12-foot rails on your own. What you have to do is you put a nail under one end to rest this on, you put you nail your other end in, and then you come along and line this up and level it up. But fencing is a lot easier with two. So next plan, the board on each end, 2 inches from the top. Just make sure it is straight, but the post is straight, so we know that one's straight. Done the same at that end. It's pretty easy because it's a straight fence, but then just check your string lines tight enough by measuring that it is 2 inches. If it's a long stretch, you put a board in the middle to take the weight of the string line to keep it straight. But apart from that, we can start on our rails. You do check every 5 rails because not every rail is straight, and then you can start running off. What I tend to use is a board as a spacer there, and then your next board there. So let's get cracking. So all finished and nailed up, finished, except along the end we 3 boards missing, and the reason is the bottom of the pack you have brown timber and you have green timber, and it's just the way they stand. But at the bottom of the pack the last 3 boards have been green, hence to say I'm going to have to come back next week and put them last 3 boards on. I have no luck. So another job finished, and if I had to go on, if this was my bread and butter today and I was having to go and pick this timber up, it's half an hour away, so potentially by the time you go there and back and fuel, you've lost £60 off that job. The good news is I am back over here next week, so I can just pick the boards up and I can come back next week and do the last few boards and put the last few boards on. So it's not totally bad, but that's the fun and games of the trade. Should I check the pile to make sure every board was the same colour? It rarely happens. It's never happened before. So that's if you're buying a whole pallet, usually they'll all be packed up and they'll all be the same. This is just a one-off where I pick the boards up and the bottom 3 have just happened to be green instead of brown. So coming back to the job, yes, I've got to come back and put a few boards on, but apart from that, job done. And coming back to points on it, one, you've seen how hard it is to put a post in. Ideally fencing is a 2-man job. Rails, same again, putting nails in to hold the other end of the rail up. I've done fencing for years and I became accustomed to doing it on my own, and you pick up habits, easy habits of how to do it when you're on your own, when you've got to make do. Yes, it is easy as a 2-man job, but I've been doing it that long and that many years that I know how to do these things. People will also be asking, where's your pass load nail gun? I used to own a nail gun. I got rid of my nail gun, and the reason I got rid of it was because I got rid of that, my whacker plate and various other things when I stopped doing landscaping, when I stopped putting patios down and all the other things like that. So little jobs like this I don't mind, where I've just got to nail it up by hand for the sake of what it is. Quite happy just to get the hammer and nails out. If it was a big job, then yes, it would be worthwhile hiring a pass load nail gun. But what I'm doing now is I'm subbing any really big jobs out, as you'll see on a video up and coming soon. I've got 220 metres of fencing to do. What I'm going to do in my unit is make all the gates for the guys. It's a 4-foot high fence around some allotments. I'll make all the gates and they'll do all the fencing, and then just come and there's just hinges to bang on and a simple latch for the allotments. So that will be the plan on that. The bigger stuff gets subbied out now. Time more than anything, and as well as that, like I say, it's cutting back on the hard work. So it just makes it easy for me, and I can still make a reasonable amount of money being the middleman. So that's pretty much it for today. Another job finished there. I'm going to do a simple post and wire fence on another little job now, just to finish off, and then after that got a little bit of chainsawing to do on a job this afternoon, which you've probably seen on a video before, or you'll see it on a video after. We're opening an area up around the park just to improve visibility for residents, because it's getting a lot of antisocial behaviour, quad bikes and people doing things they shouldn't do. So by opening this area up, it's going to help the police and everybody else who's trying to stop these people doing what they shouldn't. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.